Let's begin section B of section 3.3 part B. That's better. In previously, we discussed the usage of comparing standard deviations and variances. As well as ranges. So now we're taking another look at data, raw data. And seeking position or location of a data value. All right, here we go. What we're talking about is percentiles. And this is known to you in regards to standing. So this tells us what standing you have at our community college. For us, it's a GPA. And it reflects what area of um, 4 parts of 4, the max, are. The higher the GPA, more dedicated student you are. It shows determination and attention to learning. Attention to learning. So, this is finding the position of a data in a set called percentile. So here we have what the book said. Percentiles are measures of location, which is what I said, denoted by P sub a number. And that is the position of that ordered data set, which divides a set into 100 groups. In other words, it works as a percent position. So that 100 is way at the max and a 0 is nothing, right? So we have a formula, and the formula is the percentile of an x value is the number of values less than x, divided by the total number of data times 100. So if we're looking at the 80th percentile, then we're talking about however many numbers we have, less than the desired position. Okay, so converting a data value, a percentile to a data value. And this is key because we have the introduction of the L location, and then we have N, the cardinal number or the total number of the set. And then we have the 100, the K, I'm sorry, K. And K is the position, I should say, the percent value without changing to a decimal. Sorry about that. My brain was not working. All right. So we're going to do some examples and hopefully make sense of these two criteria. Remember, this is values less than, and to find the value of that data position as a percent. Yeah. So, when finding the 35th percentile from a sample of 200, so my N is 200 IQ scores, the locator L is found to be the 80th number. What is the value of the 35th percentile? So what do we have? Okay, well, we've got 35 equals K. All right, so there is no K in the percentile value, only the number over the total value times 100, which is the same as our locator, um, which says that what is the value of the 35th percentile? So we're looking for K. All right. So we know that L equals K 100 times N. Okay. So we know our locator is the 80th number, K over that 100 times the 200. Well, we can divide the 100 into the 2 and get 2. 80 equals 2K. Little algebra, not anything serious. So to undo multiplication, I divide both sides by the coefficient, that means the number attached to the variable. So 40 is K. So it says find the 35th percentile. So 40 is K, the 35th percentile. So that's what we have. So now we're going to find now that we know the percent or the count, we're going to find the percent. So here we go. 40% of the 200 equals 80, because that's the locator. So if I do the math, I get the 1. So I get the 80 equals 80. And because there's an even data, we're talking about the 80th or 81st uh, because we're talking one less, we're talking about even data. So that is finding the 35th percentile sample. It is the 80th term or the 81st. Well, they gave us 80 to begin with, and we can just prove how this works with this problem. All right. When finding the 37th percentile from a sample of 200 IQs, the locator L is found to be 45 and a half. All right. So here we have something different. 45 and a half is the locator. So it's between two values in this case. Okay, so how are we going to do this one? All right, so we're looking for K. So I'm going to have 45 and a half equal to K over that 100 times the 200. These are dumb problems, I know. So I have 45 and a half equal to 2K. I'm going to divide by that 2. And I'm going to use my calculator, make sure I don't make a careless error. Take me a minute. Well, wait. They're just telling us to evaluate. I'm sorry. Not necessary. We already know what the position is, but they want to find what is the value of the 37th percentile. It is the 6th number because we have to have a whole position. It is, remember what it says, the locator is less, right? I misread it. So it is the 46th number. That's all you needed on this one. Okay. Now we have this guy. And in this guy, we do have to do a little bit math. When finding the value of percentile, the location is that formula, which we already know. The K is a percentile and N is the sample size. Given the sorted data of 500 IQs, what is the value of the 40th percentile? All right. So we have, we want the location. So we want the locator number of 500 on the 40th. So we're going to have L equals the 40 over that 100 times the 500. We're going to divide by the 5. The locator number is the 200. That finishes that. Very easy, nothing serious. Nobody get excited. So we're going to do the 5-number summary and box plot. Well, we've exhausted entering data, achieving the 5-number summary. But what we're doing now is drawing a graph. the 5-number summary. And a number line. I'm writing what I'm going to say next. A number line to show spread. Of each parts. All right. So we know that in our calculator we get the min x on the median, or Q2, the Q3, and max x. This is what we get in the calculator. And we use this for a box plot. A box plot is a graph of the data set that contains a line extending from the minimum value to the maximum value, and the box with lines drawn from the first quartile to Q1, the median, and the third quartile, and of course the max. So we're going to talk first. I'm not going to give you too many instructions because it is a visible instruction area. I want you to be able to read the box plot. Because that's more valuable than constructing it. I could teach you how to do it on the calculator, but most of the programs that they have, you just punch a button and they'll do it. So that's not as critical as understanding what this says. The box plots shown are results from the heights in centimeters of males listed in the data set. What are the numbers of the box plot tell us? Well, it tells us the minimum height, which is, in this case, 156 centimeters. So that's what the 156 tells us, because that is our min x. Then it wants Q1, and that number is 167 and 9/10 centimeters. Now, do we know the size of the sample? In this case, we do not. So we cannot see all of the data, but we can at least read the box plot. Then we come to the median, or quartile 2, and that is 173 and 2/10 centimeters. And that means that 50% of the data lies to the left of the median, and 50% lies to the right of the median, to give us that 100%. So these are equal amounts in both. And then the Q3 is 180. centimeters, and now we're getting to the end of the third quadrant value. And again, remember that each quadrant has the equal number of data. And so if we notice it's a 0.2, so it was probably between two numbers when it's a decimal. And the highest value on our item is 194. So let's just look at it. All right. Well, we can see that the spread here is small. So whatever the quantity is, this one here is small. This one might be an outlier because the stretch here exceeds this one and exceeds this one. So there might be an outlier. So there's a lot of things you can read in a box plot construction. All right. So we're going to look at entering, and I really didn't want to do this one, but again, we understand that your curiosity of technology is important to me, and I do not want to be remiss. So I'm really more interested in finding the 5-number summary, but we can do this. All right. So the first part is to enter the data. And we know already that's that. Choose edit, choose number 1, edit by enter. So the two keys are stat and enter. And then we clear out data. The next step is to do a second calc, second, oh, well, let me regress. Oh, I'm sorry. Just in case this is all you look up rather than watch the other videos. So better what we need. So we're going to hit the stat. We're going to arrow over using the key that's above the share button. Arrow over to calc, and then we're going to choose number 1, variable stat, and enter 3 times. And what this does is it gives us the 5-number summary. Now at this point, you write values, and that would be min x, q1, 3, and max x. That's the 5-number summary. And from here you could construct box plot. But if you wanted the calculator to do it, Well, then you're going to do the following commands. Right. So we want to let me get some room. I'm writing kind of big on that. Okay. Our first step is to turn on boxplot feature. And we do this by second key and the Y equals, which is the key um, under the home screen. I can speak, really. All right, so we're going to do that. Let's do that first. We're just assuming that we just need to see it so that you'll understand what I'm saying. Second Y equals. And then you hit enter. So then you choose, after turning it on, on type, arrow over the third. I think it's the third. Let's look at that. Make sure I'm telling you right. So we're going to turn it on, and then we're going to go to type, and then we're going to arrow over. Oh no, it is the fourth one. I'm glad I checked. To the fourth one. Oh. Let me just put the fourth one. The fourth picture, you can tell, is a box plot. And enter. At this point, we're almost there. So let me, the fourth one. And then we want to choose some lists. And the lists are list one, and frequency, one. Then enter, enter, enter. So, but frequency should be one because we're only using one set of data. So okay, then we do the zoom key, and you know where that one is. It's the third key under the home screen, and choose number 9, zoom stack. And then you'll view it on the home screen. All right. And we'll do it on this last one. Here we go. This is the last problem we'll be doing, and for this place. but on the homework, they give you a list to choose from, and I've done what you'll see in the homework. You don't physically draw it, so that's why I said if you get the 5-number summary, you can do this. All right, so here we go. Everybody with their calculators. Okay. Listed below are amounts of strontium 90 in millibecquerels, MBQ, in a simple random sample of baby teeth obtained from residents in a region born after 1979. Use the given data to construct a box plot and identify the 5-number summary. So at this point, you take a picture with your phone so you can have ready access, because I'm going to make it smaller so I can place my calculator on the screen. All right, so here we go. All right, here we go. I have my home screen, and the first thing we do is enter the data. So stat, edit. I have a lot of data. So I'm going to up arrow, clear, enter. All right. So then I'm going to enter you enter it the way you want, making sure. I have to go slow because your instructor sometimes doesn't punch the keys correctly. Or doesn't see the numbers correctly, is more accurate. Oh, see, I already made a mistake. So, oops, made an error right there. 170. Oops. Oh, and I made another error up there. 149. Wondering why I didn't get, oops. Now it had the 153 at the bottom. Okay, I've entered my data. I have 18 data. So let's look at that. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17, 18. So I'm good. And hopefully I have the correct one. Okay, so I have my data. So then I'm going to hit the stat key. I want to calculate one variable, and I'm going to use line 1. So I'm just enter, enter, enter. And I get on the 5-number, min x, q1, median, q3, and max x, a 5-number sum. So let's type it in. So my min x is 60. Oh, that's wrong. I don't have 2-digit. Let me look at my data. Bobo. You know what the min is. Where did I have? That 160, it should be probably a 165. Should be a 124 on my data. Let me try it again. Working on the simulator is so touchy. I apologize, but I have to find what I entered wrong. I don't see it. But the min is 124. Let's do it again. Stat, count, line 1. Oh, no, it's line 2. Sorry about that. I remember I was working on something with you all. There it is. All right, there it is. 124. Q1 is 135. Need is 153. Q, right? NED, Q153. Arrow down, 164. Arrow down, and 175. All right. Now, if I'm not mistaken, that's what I should have. If I didn't do any other entry error. So we're going to do the stat plot, second count, stat plot. I'm going to go down, enter the fourth one, and I'm going to have enter, and on on frequency, I'm going to enter 1, and enter, oh, zoom 9. And there it is. So we're looking for a longer here and a shorter here. Now we can hit trace and go side arrow, and the low is 124. So let's look at what we have here. And now at this point I can just look at what we need. So 124 looks good here. 124 does not look good here. 124 does not look good here, and 124 might look good here. Then our second one is 135. Well, that's more 135. 135 is right there, so this is our answer. And there you have it. And of course, it matches what is on our calculator. Chubby, short, and end. Now remember, it's always going to be the 5-number summary, and once you get it, you can do it. Now, you can do the homework. So the box plot only helps you in knowing what you want to do. So now you can do the homework. Thank you for listening.